Hey everybody, today we are going to study Bible study about Psalm 139. And let's go. So go from verse 1. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. So this psalm, it was written by David. And it's God is searching us and he knows us inside out. Verse 2, you know when I sit and when I rise. He knows, God knows everything. He knows when you sit down, when you rise, when you rise to go anywhere, you sit down to rest. You perceive my thoughts from afar. He knows your thoughts before even you form your thoughts. He knows what you wanna, what is in your mind. He knows before. Perceive my thoughts from afar. It doesn't have to be close to you to know your thoughts. He knows them all. He knows your heart. So you know from a good heart comes good thoughts. I put actually this in my prayer. God, you know when I rise up and when I sit down. And from far away, you know my thoughts. Verse 3, you discern my going out and my laying down. You're familiar with all my ways. He knows when you go, where you go, when you get out from your house, when you're laying down, and then he knows all your ways, what you do, what you say, what your thoughts, everything. Because he is everywhere. He has you as an open book. He knows who you are. And I was saying in quotation like he know what you're up to. And then that's why it's a good thing, because if you have in your thoughts to do something and then you hear the voice of God, go the other way. It's not your way. I guide you. Just go the other way. And he gets you out from trouble. Let's go next. Verse 4, before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. Before even you try to say something, but it's in your mind, is in your heart. So it comes from the heart, then thoughts, and then forms the words. And before you say it out, God knows them completely. Verse 5, you hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. So he's behind and before you, and lay a hand upon me, which on the top. So it's behind and before, and lay a hand upon me like a blessing. Verse 6, such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lovely for me to attain. Just knowing that is wonderful, to know that God is above, before, behind, on the top, everywhere. He knows when you stand up, when you sit down, when you lay down, when you get out from the house, come back in. He knows it. He knows everything. Let's go next. Verse 7. Where can I go from your spirit? That's David is asking. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in depths, you are there. Like no matter how high you try to get, God is there. He is in heavens. And if you try to go down in the depths, God is there. If I rise, verse 9, if I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me, your right hand will hold me fast. So let's go back to this. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, the wings, I think flying, even though you're getting up or you settle on the far side of the sea, like no matter how far where the sea is, how far you go, just say that the other side of the sea, right? Even there your hand will guide me and your right hand will hold me fast. So even though just say you go on the sea with a big boat and you go on the other side, God's hands is guiding you through it. Is guiding you no matter how far you go, how deep you go, on the sea, in the depths, in the sky, in the heaven. No matter where you are, God is guiding you. Verse 11. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the light become night around me. So surely the darkness will hide me. So if you want to hide in the dark, for example, and that's kind of tricky here, and the light become night around me, because we are the light, right? But the light become a night, so it's not going to shine anymore. So what it means, like if you lose your way with God because your light, they go in where people are serving the darkness, and you try to, well, you try to step on the other side, and then the light doesn't shine anymore because you are almost crossing over the other side, because your light become night around. So surely the darkness will hide me and the light become night around me. Even now, verse 12, even the darkness will not be dark to you. So the darkness is not too dark for God. The night will shine like the day, for the darkness is as light to you. So even though we try to step on the other side, or we just sleep over on the darker side, and everything, the light that used to shine around you, it's not anymore, and it's all dark around you. God has the light. He is the shining light. He lights up. He will find you even in the darkness because he is the light for you. It says, the night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. The darkness is not dark for God. The darkness is a light, is like light for God. So he will find you even there and try to bring you back. It has to be your will to come back to where you get caught or slip into. It's still your will if you want to come back or not, or how far you want to come or how far you want to go. But he's there to help you because his light, you will see his light and you will see his hand, and he's always there to help you to come back. Verse 13, for you created my inmost being. I like this part. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Because God created our he created us, the inmost, like the inner parts. It's referred to give us the spirit, the spirit comes from God. You knit me together in my mother's womb and crafted us, I would say, in our mother's womb to make sure we have bones, we have flesh, we have heart, we have everything what we need. 14, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. fearfully, because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Fear has to be fear of God Almighty, and wonderfully, because He is like makes wonders with us. We are His hands, craft. He's crafted us, so He made us, and He made us wonderful. Um, and as David say next, your works are wonderful. I know that full well. His work is wonderful. We are made wonderful and fearfully made in the fear of God. Verse 15, my frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. So God knew when you came to existence, when you got created, God knew you. Um, it's not a hidden, nothing is hidden from Him. He knew you. Even though you were made in a secret place, God knew you. And that's good to know. 16, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. So God already saw who you're going to become. And all the days were written before even you came to the existence. The days would be were written in his book of the destiny. You're talking about here, a book of the destiny. And let's go back. It says all the days ordained. So they were ordained for me, for us, were written in your book, in the book of the destiny. All the days before one came to be, before one of them came to be. So before even we turn one day, everything was made in place for our destiny, were written in the book, what is going to be. And that's good to know. God already had a plan for each one of us. And I say, it's still up to us to fight to get to our destiny, to fulfill our destiny. Let's go next. 17. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. Because now here David is talking about God's thoughts. Why? How he knows that? The communication with God. If you have encounters with God, like going to heaven, any encounters with God in heaven, you speak through the thoughts. You don't speak with their mouth. It's through the thoughts. So God is talking through his, the mind in the thoughts, and you speak back and forth. You just by thinking, like you form the thoughts in your head, and then God is responding to you that way. So you through the thoughts is back and forth. That's why David knows. He says, how precious to me are your thoughts, God, because God is talking to David, and probably had encounters with God through his thoughts. How vast is the sum of them. Verse 18, were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I am awake, when I awake, I'm still with you. So all the thoughts are there, so many they can like outnumber the grains of sand. Well, imagine how much sand, just in that pile there in the picture, how much sand is it? And it says they will outnumber all the thoughts, because he is communicating with God through the thoughts, back and forth, like so much that even those grains of the sand are outnumbered. And he says, when I'm awake, I'm still with you. Trying to say, even like awake or sleep, God is with us, as he was with David in this psalm. Let's go next. Wow. Now he goes a little bit on the, because David, well, we know that David was haunted by Saul, and then later on by Absalom, his own son. And so he had, and then he had problems with just fighting, would be always in war with the enemy. So he had these experiences with fighting and being the war, different kind of war. Verse 19, if only you, God, will slay the wicked. Because there were so many coming against him. So, as you can see, like when we are people of God, the enemy is hunting us down. And that's why I say we slay the wicked. Would slay the wicked? If only you, God, would slay the wicked. Like God to slay the wicked. Away from me, you who are bloodthirsty. He says like to get God to slay all the wicked people that are coming after him, that the one who are bloodthirsty. Um, they speak of you with evil intent. All the enemy, like enemies of God. Think about Goliath. He was blaspheming the God, God of Israel, cursing and saying bad things. He couldn't stand that. Your adversary misuse your name. Do not hate those who hate you, Lord. He's asking God, do I not hate those who hate you, Lord, and abhor those who are in rebellion against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. So the one who stands against God, he stands against God. He stands against those who hates God. Since his love for God is so much, he hates the one who hates God. In this specific passage, um, well, it's hard to love somebody who hates God and curse God and see all kinds of bad things about God. So, uh, but let God revenge you if they're coming after you. All right, let's go next. Wow. Verse 23. Search me, God, and know my heart. All right. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. All right. So this is very important. David is asking for God. Now, he said about the enemy first. Okay. So here, the enemy, if you go against the enemy with your thoughts and you talk back about them and you talk bad things about them, and you are angry with them, you may fall on the wrong side. So you got to be careful with that. That's why in this, right after he said that, he says, search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. If he's anxious about and has thoughts against the enemy, he wants God to search him within to find out if he is going on the wrong side. Because hating the enemy, it could be make a bridge to the enemy to come into the heart, which is the soul, and where the enemy is after to fragment the soul, to pull it apart. So, and then David is asking in this specific verse to search inside his soul to make sure he's not like his anxious thoughts are not damaging his soul, and he doesn't go on the side of the enemy to be a victim. 24. See if there is any offensive way in me, exactly what I was just saying, and lead me in the way or everlasting. So he wants God to search inside his soul to find if there's any offense, that he didn't take care of it, and help him, because he wanna and to lead he want to be in the everlasting with God. He wants God to lead him in the way of everlasting, that he will not fall prey to the enemy. Wow. The end. I know. Um, I love this psalm. It's one of when sometimes I start praying. I'm start praying what it says, beginning of the psalm. Um, so let's recap a little bit. Um, God is above. Whenever we go, whenever we do, He is above us. So He goes, He's before and behind, above, that He has a hand above us. If we go towards the end of the sea, anywhere we go, we fly up, we go down, anywhere, God is with us, constantly. Even we are in the darkness, we try to we probably, hopefully not, sleep away, and we go in the darkness and we don't light around, and but God will find us and brings us back if we wanted to be recovered. And fighting with the enemy, because and dealing with the enemy, because we hate the enemy, because they curse God, and then they're against God. And fighting with the enemy make us be anxious, and we try to connect back with God and ask God to make sure our soul is not fragmented or hurt, what actually the enemy is after. And we make sure we don't fall prey to the enemies inside the soul, um, because we want to be guided and led to the in the way of the everlasting. Will be joy, love, laughter with God forever. Wow. I hope you enjoyed it, Psalm 139, as much as I enjoy it. Till next time, I say goodbye. Goodbye now.